crazy. Do I check out the Italian chicken sandwich? Melted mozzarella and bella sauce, or the French, dressed to perfection with très delish ham and Swiss, or the American, totally overflowing with American cheese and veggies. So many chicks, so little time.
We do it like you do it at Burger King.
Every once in a while, a movie comes to your theater that you can take your whole family to see. But on cable TV, you can watch great family entertainment, like Disney, all month long, for less than it cost a family of 4 to watch one performance here.
Burns and Ditka, take your marks. Sunday sounds the bell for the biggest transatlantic fight of the year. It's the Vikings versus the Bears in Sweden. Join Channel 4 as we travel across the Atlantic to witness a battle between the Central Division favorites. Kickoff is at noon, and when the dust settles, stay tuned to Channel 4 for post-game highlights. This is Mark Rosen. Join Ralph John Fritz and Joe Sensor for a special Vikings locker room right after the game. It's a world event, Sunday on Channel 4, the Vikings station.
A 12-hour search in Robbinsdale ended today when the body of a man was pulled from a lake. He had walked away from home last night.
WCCO Television presents Mike Walsham, Cindy Hilger, Mark Strell, and Ralph John Fritz. This is the 10 p.m. report.
Good evening, everyone. Last night at this time, a search was just getting underway in Robbinsdale for a 67-year-old man. Ralph Ringdahl had not returned from his walk. The family became concerned when Ringdahl's dog came home without his master. This morning, 12 hours later, the body of Ralph Ringdahl was pulled from the water of Lake Crystal. Daryl Savage reports.
The Ringdahls can do nothing more now than think of what was. The victim's wife, sons, and daughter pulled out the pictures this afternoon. Rolf had suffered from a condition similar to Parkinson's disease for the past few years. He had some trouble moving around. Still, he always looked forward to walking down to the lake with his best friend. Come here, baby. Shane was a close companion to his master. In fact, the dog was with Rolf yesterday evening when the victim disappeared. Ringdahl apparently fell into the water, and Shane tried to save him. Neighbors found the dog running home 2 hours later.
Well, the dog came back wet, and I just knew it was down at the lake. You have a feeling. You know, I woke up at 6:30, and I thought, I'm going back down to that lake. I knew he was there.
As many as 15 relatives, friends, and police officers meticulously searched the lake. The family's not up to talking right now. That's understandable. They've been up all night long searching around the lake. That search ended this morning when a good friend of the family found the body. The searchers didn't spot the victim until sunrise, despite the fact that they stayed out all night looking by flashlight. The family members are trying to keep their chins up, but they're taking it hard. So is Shane. She spent her entire life at Rolf's side. She's 15 human years old. That's 105 years for a dog. The family says she's acting differently today. She knows something's wrong. It would have been nice if this was a story about a dog saving a man's life. Instead, it's about a family giving all the love it has and a dog that tried. Daryl Savage, WCCO Television News, Robbinsdale.
An autopsy performed today confirmed the cause of death as drowning. Robbinsdale police say they have no reason to believe Ringdahl's death was anything but an accident. Heavy rain in a short period of time caused street flooding in the Alexandria area today. While less than 2 inches of rain actually fell there, showers over the past 3 days created the right conditions for flooding. Things tonight, though, are back to normal. It was much the same in the Hibbing area where heavy rains fell during the night. Residents spent much of the morning pumping out basements. There were reports of up to 6 inches of rain in parts of northern Minnesota, enough to prompt the Weather Service to issue a flood watch. This morning, a tornado swept through a rural area near Mason, Wisconsin, in the northwest part of the state. It destroyed a barn and several outbuildings in the dairy farm of Warren Clough. 6 cows were killed when the twister smashed the building they were in. All the animals will have to be sold because there is nowhere to keep them.
You know, it's going to take 2 months to clean this muddle up, and so everything's going to have to go.
The family home was spared. It was built just last year. There were no other reports of damage or injuries from that tornado. Authorities have identified the victim of a stabbing death in North Minneapolis today. 35-year-old Raymond Ryan died at 11 o'clock this morning. Neighbors say a misunderstanding between Ryan and another man over a robbery led to the stabbing. Police have the suspect in custody tonight. A car accident in Bloomington resulted in the death of one person today. The accident happened on Highway 494 at County Road 18 at about 11:30 this morning. Police have not yet released the name of the victim. And an accident at the Highway 12 Wayzata Boulevard split has killed one person and critically injured another. This accident happened around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tuesday will mark the one-year anniversary of the crash of Northwest Flight 255. It happened at Detroit Metropolitan Airport. 157 people were on board bound for Arizona. Flight 255 slammed into a 4-lane road just minutes after takeoff. Everyone was killed in the burning wreckage, everyone but one little girl. Today, a prayer service was held in downtown Detroit. People who tried to rescue the victims attended the service, and the names of all the dead were read aloud. A name not heard was that of Cecilia Sheehan, the miracle girl, the 4-year-old who somehow survived the crash. Cecilia is now living in Alabama with her aunt and uncle. They say she is living the normal life of a 5-year-old. Thousands of volunteers turned out today to paint the town. The occasion, the 5th annual Metro Paint-a-thon, a community-wide effort to spruce up the houses of more than 300 Twin Cities residents physically or financially unable to do it themselves. Tom Stewart was there when they started touching up the town.
Nothing like a new coat of paint to brighten up a weathered house. Not to mention the spirits of the volunteers that took their day off just to do it.
It's real satisfying to see a project that probably would take a week being done in a day because of so many people doing it at one time.
Well, I thought I would do this for a good cause, volunteering to help the elderly paint his house.
The lucky recipient of all this goodwill, 82-year-old Frederick Ewald, whose osteoporosis rules out the possibility of doing it himself.
This is a great thing for people like me, because I told them the only way I could paint the house is to lay on the roof and paint it upside down.
Looks remarkably organized for a group of amateurs that came in at about 8 o'clock this morning without really knowing what they were going to do. Most of the elbow grease on this house came courtesy of about 25 employees of Dayton's, one of several corporations and churches behind this community cleanup. Out here, however, the executives pitched in with everyone else, including the black lab that served as the mascot on this fix-up.
That's why we do it. We come out because, it's generally older people who can't, take care of their houses themselves, and it's just a nice way for us to participate in the community and help somebody.
Amateurs in some cases like this do better than professionals. They take more care. When you're doing it for love or whatever it is, why, you're a different painter.
Today, some 300 Twin Cities homeowners were saying the same thing, grateful for the help of so many people they'd never even met before. Tom Stewart, WCCO Television News, Richfield.
Some 1,000 homes have been spruced up as a result of the Paint-a-thon's 5 years of work. Up next, the Big Easy turns GOP, how New Orleans welcomes the Republicans in just a moment.
It's 1988 closeout time at Midway Chev. With over 150 new cars and 200 new trucks, Midway has the largest selection in the state. Get factory rebates up to $750, plus Midway Chev's huge closeout discounts. Midway is also the volume leader in used cars with a full city block to choose from. On-the-spot financing and delivery lets you drive home the deal of the year today.
I'll see to it that you're satisfied with your new purchase at Midway Chevrolet. You have my word on that.
Midway Chev, University Avenue, St. Paul.
They're coming from the cities, and they're coming from the farms. They're coming 'cause they wanna be there. It's getting time to gather at the fine get-together, the great Minnesota State Fair. They're coming with their families, and they're coming with their friends. They're coming for the fun they're gonna share. It's the grandest show of all, it's the one that people call the Great Minnesota State Fair.
It's Game Fair, the outdoor sporting event for the entire family. WCCO's Don Shelby gives the big picture on bass fishing. Bring your dog, pack your bow or gun, and practice with the pros. Visit outdoor exhibits. Science Diet presents the second annual World Retriever Festival. Let your hunting dogs compete against England's finest. Meet Tony Parnell, the Queen of England's dog handler. Remember, 2 big weekends, August 12th through 14th and 19th through 21st at the Armstrong Ranch in Anoka.
The savings are colossal at Sun Valley Waterbed's giant 13th birthday sale. Choose from 13 different waterbed styles for less than $1.99 and get 2 king-size pillows free. Choose from 13 more waterbed styles
and get the matching nightstand free.
How about luxurious Backsaver soft sides, now just $3.99?
I like it.
And romantic canopy beds for only $38 a month with a free nightstand.
Oh, my.
The savings are colossal during the giant 13th birthday sale now at Sun Valley Waterbeds.
The Republicans are setting their stage in New Orleans this weekend. The GOP convention doesn't officially begin until Monday, and the Republicans won't really get down to business until Thursday when they officially nominate George Bush. But that's not to say things aren't happening at the Superdome, and WCCO's convention team is there. Skip Loescher and Colleen Needles have the details.
Many of the Republican delegates and their families are already here in New Orleans tonight.
And most of them will find their way to the historic French Quarter. Yes, this is Bourbon Street. It's a collection of bars, souvenir shops, and strip joints, which epitomize what has been labeled as all-American trash. Every kind of music imaginable filters out of the open doorways. Folks can just kind of walk along, watch, and listen while sipping their favorite alcoholic drinks, which are sold to go in plastic cups.
The convention itself will be held right here in the Superdome. It is an enormous structure, 27 stories high, with a roof area of nearly 10 acres. 85,000 people have jammed this building for the 4 Super Bowls which have been played here, but Republican officials say no more than 32,000 will inhabit it during the next week.
Minnesota will contribute roughly 60 delegates and alternates to that total, and as our Pat Kessler reports, most of them arrived today to a very festive welcome.
Not a lot of us have ever experienced the special fervor of a New Orleans welcome. And it's virtually certain even fewer have ever marched in a parade to the baggage claim area.
We're going to have a little fun while we're here, so probably not totally saintly, but I think we're going to do a good job, end up with a great candidate, and win an election this fall.
It'll take a day for Minnesota's delegates to get their bearings and unpack their suitcases, but they know exactly what they want once they're settled.
Well, what I'd like to see, of course, is the conservative platform passed. I also would like to see Jack Kemp nominated as vice president. He brings a good conservative tilt to George Bush.
Who Bush picks for vice president will determine how well he does in Minnesota this fall, say some delegates. That's the only real suspense this week, and it's a signal for people like Bob Beal.
We're hoping that he didn't just do that for the primary, but we'll stick with it not only through the general election, but also through his term as president.
Most of the delegates won't even see the inside of the convention hall until Monday. And Minnesota seats aren't that bad, really. You can see the podium from here, which is pretty good considering our state was the only one in the nation to vote Democratic in 1984. With Brad Early, I'm Pat Kessler, WCCO Television News, New Orleans.
Well, this convention is expected to be just as harmonious as the Democrats' convention last month in Atlanta. There were some voices of dissent heard today here in New Orleans. Now, they came from the activist organization Acorn. Those members demonstrated in front of the Superdome today with the pictures of 250 former Reagan administration officials that they say were indicted, resigned, or are working in shame. But so far, most of the fireworks here have been of the aerial kind. This afternoon, VIP guests Maureen Reagan and Republican Party Chair Frank Fahrenkopf were officially welcomed with brass bands and aerial bombs, and there were also fireworks over the city last night as part of a grand old party celebration. It was billed as a family-style welcome for the Republican Party. And if that's not enough, Skip, tonight delegates here could attend a jazz mass that's planned for midnight at a church in the French Quarter.
And they'll probably be doing some very serious partying tonight along Bourbon Street and other places, I would guess. There's only a full day left before the convention is gaveled to order Monday morning, and we will wind up right back here tomorrow with more on that partying and the politicking.
And we'll be rejoining Skip and Colleen a bit later to find out how a New Orleans tradition is fitting into the convention. But up next, Mark Strell will fill us in on what happened to our chances for rain.
It's time.
Come drive a Mazda.
It's year-end clearance time. Time to get the deal of the year on a new Mazda. And factory-to-dealer cash incentives can add hundreds to your savings on a Mazda truck. It's time. Time to clear out all the 88s. Mazda's year-end clearance time.
Come drive a Mazda. Do it now.
See your Mazda dealer in Richfield, Brooklyn Center, White Bear, St. Paul, and Minnetonka.
Are you looking for a new radio station? One you can relax and spend the day with? If so, WLTE, the Light FM 103, has been specially designed just for you. The Light FM is perfect to listen to, just to take it easy. Soft, easygoing songs to sing along with, at work, at home, or in the car. So if your radio station's changed recently, come to the only FM station where you can relax. The Light FM 103, WLTE.
Aborting babies for medical use. Scientists have found that fetal tissue may have promise for curing diabetes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other diseases. Does this mean it may be only a matter of time before women will conceive for profit and sell their unborn babies for medical science? We'll address the moral and ethical dilemmas posed by this breakthrough next on
Donahue, Monday morning at 8 on Channel 4.
I'm Ron Hanberg. Today's consumers are pretty smart shoppers. Most businesses are honest and fair. But as long as there's greed and sloppy workmanship, consumers need all the help they can get. That's why we're creating Help Center 4, a new way for WCCO TV to help viewers solve their consumer problems. Help Center 4 will feature an on-the-air consumer reporter, backed by a corps of trained volunteers answering your calls and questions. Help Center 4, coming this fall to WCCO television.
So, are we going to get more rain or not?
It doesn't look like it. We had a trace of rainfall in the last 24 hours. Nothing like they had up the road here a few miles. Right now we have partly cloudy skies here in the Twin Cities, and we're at 78 degrees. Our relative humidity at 64%. Winds west at 17, gusting to 26 miles per hour. And our dew point dropping off. Things are getting a little more comfortable outside, 65 degrees. Barometric pressure 29.78 and rising. Our high temperature today, we did not hit 90 degrees. If we had, it would have been the 42nd day this year. We hit 87 instead. That's kind of news in and of itself. The low this morning, 74 degrees. We did have a trace. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:13, sunsets at 9:14. The temperatures as of last hour here in the state, 66 degrees up in the north, International Falls, 65 degrees. Also at Thief River, 69 at Fargo. The 70s and 80s still not hanging on in the south, and it's not too hard to pick out where the frontal system crosses right across the state. Stationary front separating the hot and humid stuff down here and the cooler air with a little bit of moisture as well up to the north. That's because of a little bit of storm activity, a low pressure system kind of zipping off across the state, and it did bring healthy amounts of rainfall across the northern sections of the state today. Here's our forecast map for tomorrow, and it shows a little bit of sunshine breaking into the Twin Cities and also throughout much of the western portion of the state. Here's that low pressure system we're talking about. The frontal system really doesn't go anywhere at all, and the low pressure system just kind of tracks off further to the east. Some clouds if you happen to be traveling up to the north and the north shore, but most of the significant precipitation will go along with that. The high temperatures tomorrow go like this as well. A little bit of relief if you're traveling to the north as well. Temperatures will be in the 70s up there. 80s across much of the state, and 90s if you're doing any traveling to the southwestern corner, and the 90s stretching all the way back up into Montana and the prairie provinces of Canada. We're talking about some rainfall, and this is the way it looked over the last 24 hours. 5.75 inches, 5 3/4 of an inch of rainfall at Hibbing within the last 24 hours. Heaviest amount right up through here in the North Woods. 1.8 at Duluth, 1.8 also at Alex, and 1.5 at Redwood. Trace amounts only right in through, actually from the Twin Cities down into Winona and back into Rochester. And our highs for today really didn't look all that bad. 80s right in through the Twin Cities, 70s up to the north, and a little pocket of 60s hanging on. Here's our forecast for tonight. In the Twin Cities, partly cloudy skies, a low of about 68 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, partly sunny skies, continued quite warm. A high just under 90 degrees. Winds again out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Could be a little gusty at times. Clear skies, warm and sticky tomorrow night. Low of about 68 degrees. It will continue to be a little bit humid, as we mentioned. Our forecast for Monday, sunny, hot, and humid, high of 92. And the extended forecast for Tuesday calls for some possibilities from showers and thunderstorms. Same is true on Wednesday. Highs both days in the 90s. We cool off. On Thursday, we'll be down, in the upper 80s. Cooling off, huh?
Yeah, right.
Altus, Oklahoma, 108 degrees today.
Oh, miserable.
So,
thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
A quick look at some other items in the news tonight. 2 St. Paul women are headed to China tonight as part of an exchange with Chinese police. Lieutenant Carolyn Bailey of St. Paul is heading up the American contingent. They hope to learn and share information with their Chinese counterparts. A team of goodwill ambassadors returned to the Twin Cities this weekend, fresh from a 3.5-week tour of Japan. The Minnesota Little Gophers were in Japan facing teams from the Orient in several sports. Besides the competition, the trip gave these 19 boys a chance to see the world and learn a little more about it. And the 18th Annual Renaissance Festival is underway in Shakopee. Some of the new events this year include twice-a-day jousting matches and a 60-foot dragon at the Children's Play Village.
I'm gonna go call my phone.
In the West, news wasn't really news until you could tell friends and neighbors about it.
Operator, may I help you? Johnson residence, please.
Over the years, the people of U.S. West have pioneered the communications.
Heard anything?
To help people get news from one place to another.
Hello? Hi, Dad. It's a boy.
8 pounds, 6 ounces, and 3 chins. It's a Johnson.
Today, we're still helping people with the most advanced communications in the world, from cellular phone systems.
Oh, he's great. Hold on just a minute. I want to get Mom and Dad on the line with us.
To convenient calling features. For almost a century, the caring and innovation of U.S. West has been helping the dreams of the West grow.
Hold on, everybody. Here you go.
He's a Johnson.
U.S. West.
My dad and I have owned Ford trucks for as long as I can remember. If somebody had told me 3 months ago that I'd be driving a Chevy truck, well, I wouldn't have believed them. Well, I took a look at the new Chevy truck, and they've totally redesigned the truck. And test drove it. That was enough to sell me on it. It's got the Vortec V6. It's got plenty of power. They've had tough competition from Ford, and they've beat them.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevy truck.
Chevrolet's done their homework on this truck.
Around here, you need a radio station that's not just a fair weather friend. When the weather starts moving fast, so do our weather updates. Turn to WCCO AM Radio 830.
Can a slick GOP convention turn the polls around for George Bush? Will Bush's running mate make the difference? I'm Colleen Needles. Find out as WCCO Television brings you live coverage of the Republican National Convention Sunday on Channel 4.
The stands were packed. Just about every seat in the House was taken today as the Twins took on the Yankees. Not only did the Twins win on the field, but at the box office as well. With today's sellout, the attendance for the season topped the all-time record, surpassing the 2 million mark. And there are still 24 more home games. So consider this. Last year at this point in the season, the attendance was 1.3 million. By the end of the season, it had jumped to 2.3 million. So if the fans do like they did last year, the Twins will play for more than 3 million hometown fans this season. They saw a good one out there today.
Yeah, that's very possible. I guess 41 or 2,000 average would do it. Yeah, they did see a good one today, but you know, if the Twins should go 47-0 now, that's how many games they have left.
Right.
If they go 47-0, we're just figuring this out. Oakland's magic number would then be 38.
Okay.
I asked Tom Kelly if he figured the Twins could go 47-0. He said, we're just going to take them one day at a time, and we'll see what happens.
Never said that before, has he? Yeah.
Will you talk about your bouncing back after a heartbreaking loss last night to the Yankees in the 9th inning? The Twins disengaged the Bronx Bombers with a 12-2 thrashing. They did it behind the youthful bat of Gene Larkin and the youthful arm of Roy Smith. Larkin put on an exhibition at the plate. He went 4 for 5, 4 RBIs, including this 2-run dinger. Larkin continued to improve at a rapid rate, and he's been doing it because he's in the lineup every day.
You feel comfortable and you feel relaxed. I didn't have a good game last night, but knowing that I'm going to be in the lineup today, it makes me feel better that night. I did my best last night, didn't come through, and I had a little better day today.
Well, Larkin gave some defensive help to surprise starter pitcher Roy Smith. Alan Anderson came down with the flu, so Smith was told this morning he'd start, an assignment he prepared for last night.
I went home and went to sleep and got up in the morning, ate breakfast. Being a single guy, it's not the usual routine on Friday night.
All right, Oakland 6-2 over California. The A's keep rolling. It's getting tougher and tougher to catch that club. The Twins are going to have to make up most of the ground in Oakland in the final 2 weeks. They aren't getting any help from the A's opposition. Ron Hassey's deep fly to center turns into a 2-run homer when it goes off the glove of the Angels' Devon White. That's 5 straight for the Green Machine now. Other American League scores, it's Toronto, a 2-0 win over Kansas City. And look at that Boston score, 16-4. Boston's way is the only way this year at Fenway. Dwight Evans hit a pair of 2-run homers and drove in 7 altogether as the Sox smashed the Tigers and picked up their 24th consecutive win in Boston. In the National, Montreal inches within 4.5 of the Mets with a win there. They play 2 more tomorrow. Could be interesting. Pittsburgh, a 10-1 winner over Philadelphia. One other score. That is Houston, 1-0 over San Diego. Scott with another shutout. Prior to the Twins game, some of the greats from years gone by suited up for a classic of a game, the Equitable Old Timers game. Pitted former Twins against former Yankees. Ralph Houk moved from the Twins office, from the front office, to the Yanks coaching box. There's no question these guys know how to play the game, but the timing isn't just what it used to be.
You never forget how. Your body tells you can, but it can't. You try and you think you can, but your body tells you, hey, you can't.
And Don Larson can't throw with the World Series form he once did, but just throwing is fun for Larson.
I probably can't throw half as hard as I could before. I just try to get over the plate, let him hit it.
And the name of this game is fun, and rekindling memories of years gone by offers just that.
Well, that's a lot of fun out there. I mean, you see guys that you haven't seen in a long time and all, and then naturally seeing the guys wanting to play again, and some of them throwing that ball pretty good.
Is it great to see those guys again? Well, the football players became spectators today as the Vikings and Bears spent their last day as tourists at the Volvo secret testing facility near Gothenburg, Sweden. And Mark Rosen tells us the Swedes put on quite a show.
Love may be the universal language, but food can't be far behind. Once again, the Vikings gorged on an orgy of herring, cheese, meats, and potatoes. But the food was only a prelude to a spectacular show. The best of the Swedish Air Force buzzed the crowd with an array of barrel rolls, twists, and turns.
And those one of you who want to have a really good fly photo, watch it on its way down after they completed the loop.
I thought it was terrific. Of all the things that we've done up to this point this week, that was definitely the highlight of the week so far.
Of course, Volvo is most known for its automobiles, and they presented quite a show. A Swedish Joey Chitwood.
Oh, that's smooth. He's coming for the crowd!
Think any of your teammates will learn anything about how to drive after watching this?
Maybe we should teach a few of them. I tell you what, you can't get a DWI if you drive on 2 wheels.
All in all, the day was a total smash. So after a week of island trips, barbecues, and a look at the Swedish Air Force, it's time for the Vikings to think about a football game. Kickoff is at noon right here on Channel 4 against the Chicago Bears. With the WCCO Sports Crew, this is Mark Rosen reporting from Sweden.
All police stay behind the rope here for another.
All right, Mark, we'll have the live post-game show right after that game tomorrow. Well, aces were wild, and Azinger's is the leader after 3 rounds of the play at the PGA. Paul Azinger at 9 under is the tournament leader and one of 4 players to score holes in 1 this week at the PGA Championship in Oklahoma. Azinger's ace came on the par 3 4th hole, put him at 11 under. Azinger slipped a couple of shots after that. Still, he's the shot ahead of Dave Rubbles heading into the final round. Ray Floyd also an ace on the 8th. Floyd finished the day at 3 under, way behind the leaders. Azinger and Rummels are followed by Jeff Sluman at 6 under, and Nick Faldo is 5 under. A Pearl won the Crown Jewels today at Minnetonka. Pearl Sin, that is. Sin won the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship today, her 2nd major tournament of the year, by beating Karen Noble of New Jersey. Sin, who plays college golf at Arizona State, wrapped up the tournament on the 31st hole of head-to-head play today because she led Noble by 6 with just 5 holes remaining. Some of the former national champions now playing in the Pro Tour: Joanne Carner, Laura Baugh, and Beth Daniel. Is that hole-in-one the most exciting shot in golf?
2 in one day? How often does that happen? Not often, I bet. No.
No,
Thanks,
it doesn't.
Good morning. Up next, we'll go back to New Orleans to see how the convention is taking on the Mardi Gras.
I like my Chevrolet. It's not like any truck that I've driven, and I've driven Fords since 1975. And I needed a truck that I felt comfortable hauling lumber as well as driving clients around in. Well, if you punch it, it does really go. I really think Chevy has their act together. I really and truly think they're going to blow them away.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
It would be the truck to buy. There's nothing like it on the market. There really isn't.
I'm an international kind of guy. And I hear there's these hot new international chicks at Burger King, but which one? I mean, they won't be around long, and the toppings could drive a guy like me crazy. Do I check out the Italian chicken sandwich? Melted mozzarella and bella sauce, or the French, dressed to perfection with très delish ham and Swiss, or the American, totally overflowing with American cheese and veggies. So many chicks, so little time.
We do it like you do it at Burger King.
The savings are colossal at Sun Valley Waterbed's giant 13th birthday sale. Choose from 13 different waterbed styles for less than $1.99 and get 2 king-size pillows free. Choose from 13 more waterbed styles
and get the matching nightstand free.
How about luxurious Backsaver soft sides, now just $3.99? I like it. And romantic canopy beds for only $38 a month with a free nightstand.
Oh, my.
The savings are colossal during the giant 13th birthday sale now at Sun Valley Waterbeds.
Finally tonight, another check-in with our crew in New Orleans. Skip Loescher and Colleen Needles introduce us to a man with a heady role in the Republican convention.
New Orleans is, of course, the home of the famed Mardi Gras, and the folks who make most of those giant fiberglass and papier-mâché heads for those parades are busy making some for this convention. John Woodruff is putting the finishing touches on a likeness of George Bush, and there's even one, the president, that Sylvester Stallone would like. It's called Ronbo.
Although I don't suppose he'll be appearing bare-chested and toting a machine gun, Mr. Reagan will be here tomorrow, and the Minnesota delegates will get a chance to see him at a riverfront rally tomorrow afternoon. We'll be covering that story and much more for you live from New Orleans tomorrow at 5:30 and 10.
And with that, we say goodnight, and we hope to see you tomorrow.
Catch our world champion Minnesota Twins in action when they play the New York Yankees August 12th, 13th, and 14th at the Metrodome. And here's a special bonus. Sunday, August 14th, it's a free pair of Twins sports socks to the first 30,000 fans. These socks are made of 100% cotton and feature the Twins logo, and they're just right for your favorite sport or for just standing around. Yours free, courtesy of Kinney Shoe Store. Tickets to all Twins games are on sale at Dayton's, the Twins Pro Shop, the Metrodome, or call the Twins today.
Up to $1,500 cash back from Subaru is worth more than the same money from anyone else.
It's worth more because Subaru has the best-selling import wagon in America.
It's worth more because Subaru's XT6 has the same engine design found in a Ferrari. It's worth more because the Subaru Justy is the lowest-priced four-wheel drive passenger car in America. Up to $1,500 cash back on a Subaru is worth more because it's on a Subaru.
Hurry into your Twin City area Subaru dealer today. Offer ends soon.
The savings are colossal at Sun Valley Waterbed's giant 13th birthday sale. Choose from 13 different waterbed styles for less than $199 and get 2 king-size pillows free. Choose from 13 more waterbed styles
And get the matching nightstand free.
How about luxurious Backsaver soft sides, now just $3.99?
I like it.
And romantic canopy beds for only $38 a month with a free nightstand.
Oh, my.
The savings are colossal during the giant 13th birthday sale now at Sun Valley Waterbeds.
Has your radio station changed recently? Come to WLTE, the Light FM 103, a whole new way to relax with the radio.
Weather Center 4, keeping you ahead of the storm.